everybody, and welcome to episode 21 of What the Fact. I'm Patricia.
Stephanie.
Ashley.
Hey, wait, it's the first time we've ever done that order.
Ooh,
Hey.
and we're also legal to drink.
I was just going to say.
Episode 21. Get some alcohol on.
I already have been, and it's like 10 a.m.
We'll post a picture of this later to Instagram, but
Yeah.
what we've have is we're recording really early. Like we started at 9 a.m. Well, we got here at 9 a.m. anyway. Well, I didn't. I got here like 9:30 because I had an argument with my Uber driver. However, we took a picture of everything we're drinking, and we're gonna put it on Instagram and let you guys guess who's drinking what.
Oh, so I don't say it. I won't say it.
And you might notice that there are more than 3 beverages.
Oh,
so
God.
that means that some of us are having multiples.
I think it's pretty easy to guess who's who.
If you
in
guess,
this photo.
do you get a stub?
You get part of that Subway sandwich that I've promised everybody.
That's been sitting here for months.
I mean, it's probably no good, but you'll get
So
it. I
gross.
never indicated when or what condition it would be in.
So anyway, happy New Year, everybody. What do you guys have for your New Year's resolutions?
Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Well, there's a question of, are you going to make your New Year's resolution, and then are you going to follow through in it?
I've already started following through with mine.
Really?
Yeah.
What is yours?
So mine is not really a New Year's resolution. It's a new decade resolution. And I'm trying to be more of a minimalist in the future by really only owning things that I care about and have a need for. But I'm also trying to improve the things that I have. So I'm trying to become, what is the word I have for it? I can't think, but I'm trying to just have better stuff.
Oh, like higher quality, less
Yeah.
stuff.
That makes
Exactly.
sense. That's a good one.
Is that why you're not wearing a shirt right now?
Well, there's other reasons for that.
2% in chocolate milk.
Yes, like my tattoos heal.
They're the tattoos over her areolas.
Oh, 2%
boy.
chocolate milk.
And it's before noon.
JK, guys.
It's not even 10:30.
Those are not the tattoos I have. However, if I ever got really drunk and got tattoos, I would be really considering that.
Would you
I'd
really?
go with you.
I think it'd be fun.
I would go with you.
Yeah.
So I went
I'll
to,
go
oh God, who is listening to this? I had my tongue pierced at one time in my life.
Me too.
What?
Me
Yeah.
too.
How did he? Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
What was that sound?
I don't know.
By the way, to distinguish voices, the only one who did not have a tongue piercing is Ashley.
Yeah.
Both Patricia and I have had tongue piercings.
So if Reba, if you're listening to this,
Just nipple
Ashley's
piercings.
I mean, my brother had
You
nipple
had
piercings.
nipple
No,
piercings?
I have not had nipple piercings.
Would you?
No, I heard it's really painful. Also,
I went with friends who've done it.
well,
Not
my
bad.
friend got a nipple piercing. I don't know why she just got one instead of 2. I like the symmetry of it. She got nipple piercings, and then
nipple piercing.
well, yeah, one nipple piercing. She was having relationships with a guy, and then apparently he had a little bit of a cold, and the
Oh.
nipple piercing got infected. She had to go to the hospital, like, to see the doctor. It was sort of like a concierge service similar to One Medical, but in Seattle. And the doctor she met, she was like, "Oh, he's so hot," and he was single. And then he
He was taking the pus out of her nipple.
he was taking the pus out of her crusty nipple.
Oh my God.
And it was like, "Hey, hot doctor, why don't you look at my crusty nipple from this miscellaneous guy that I'm never going to remember who made me sick?"
That's one hell of a meat cute.
So gross.
Anyways, that's how I feel about nipple rings.
My term that I was going to say though is it's refined minimalism is my next decade of life. Refined
Refined
minimalism.
That's a good name for your autobiography.
Well, I don't know if I want that to be my, but maybe
That's
I could,
chapter.
maybe-
That's a chapter in it.
or maybe I could like
Okay.
write a small book about refined minimalism.
Ooh, that's a good question we should cover. What would the name of your autobiography be? I
It
will
would
ask this-
have to come to me. I couldn't choose it. It has to choose me.
I think I have ideas.
I
of
have
what yours
mine
would
already.
be.
Most people have plenty of ideas of what my autobiography name would be. I can't choose it myself though.
Oh,
I'm
Can't do
going to
it.
mark that down for something that we have to discuss.
okay, I
Sure.
have mine already. So what about you
Okay.
guys for your New Year's resolutions?
You want to go?
No, you go.
Okay.
That was Ashley telling Stephanie that.
Tell me where to go.
Tell me where to
Um,
go.
All right, Stephanie.
So I am not great with resolutions because I don't think there needs to be a time of year where you all of a sudden decide to do something and be better. But because of the timing of certain things, I'm trying to make next year to be like my body more. I mean,
Fair,
that has a lot to
fair.
do with the tattoos.
Yeah.
That covers some scars that has been bothering me for a very long time.
Yep.
And I think that will just overall help me enjoy my own body more.
I like that. I
Ashley,
think
what do you? Ashley's like drunkenly, but not drunk. Drunkenly hitting the microphone with her face.
I would say my New Year's resolution for next year is I actually want to do so I feel like this is maybe more of a conceptual thing that I talk about all the time. People have really great ideas, not to say that I do, but people do in general, and they rarely actually ever do them. And so this year, while I was away for work, I decided to buy a notebook, and in that notebook, I only write ideas. I don't take notes. I literally only write ideas, and then I write how I would do them. And it's to really like reopen my mind of like just like thinking about stuff. So I think my New Year's resolution for next year is to actually do some of those things.
Nice.
I like it.
And it's not like a timeline. It's just more of like making sure I have the intention to think about getting out of my routine and just doing cool shit.
Is
That's
one of those
awesome.
to murder me?
In the murder shack.
In your
By
murder
the way,
shack?
we're recording at Ashley's house. She has a murder shack.
Yeah, Ashley has a new house, and in the backyard is this like place that's bigger than my apartment. And apparently it's a murder shack.
It's a murder shack.
I mean, doesn't everyone have a murder shack? I mean, I wake up, I have my cup of coffee, I look at the glistening shack, and I'm like, have my knife in hand. I'm ready to go, right?
Ready.
How many bodies are in there
Didn't
right
you
now?
enjoy that meat on your bagel? It wasn't lox.
Oh, shit.
It was Lois.
No.
Yeah,
Puts the lotion on its skin. My God.
Didn't she taste delicious? I
Nice
mean,
and
the
soft.
lox.
Oh,
It
no.
was so gross.
Oh, no.
Sick. So anyway, New Year's Eve is tomorrow, and we're so close to 2020 now. This is so crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Do you remember when you're younger? Like, remember when? Or think about like in 2020 hits. It's gonna be 2 days from now.
Or like all of the movies that were in the future, but we've either surpassed those dates already. Like Back to the Future. Do you remember
1985.
was that?
Well, that's when it came out, but
Yeah.
it was set in 2015?
15?
Was
Yeah,
that it?
that is so crazy.
When was Total Recall set? Because that's the
I've
one I
never
watched
seen
a
that.
lot. I'm still
Obviously.
waiting for my third boob to come in.
When you don't know it's that, it's just on your back.
Oh, no.
That's why it's so uncomfortable in that chair.
Oh, so uncomfortable
But
all
can
this
you
time.
Can you imagine if you had a third boob? Would you need a
I would name
a
it
bra?
Skim.
What?
Oh! Skim milk. Never
I
mind.
would name mine whole milk. Hey.
Hey.
No,
Got
but-
Betty Veronica. There's no more women in
Jughead. Jughead.
I mean, that's so obvious, though. It's too obvious.
Is it?
To have one of my jugs be Jughead? Yes. Too
What
obvious.
about Archie?
Maybe. I feel like it should
Is he
remain
redhead?
with the women. Maybe Josie, because that's like kind of
the
the start of Josie and the
Oh,
Pussycats,
yeah. Or Pussycat.
too. Just Pussycat. They just all get renamed as the Pussycats.
I feel like you both have named your chesticles.
Oh,
and I
very
have
early
not.
on.
I mean, just because I think of the tattoos that I put over them.
I have
No,
never
I just
named mine.
Name them very
I
early
feel
on.
like I should, unless you have names for mine, but mine are very small.
We can come up with names. Give us some time.
Mine's
By the
Dim
end of
and
this
Sum.
recording.
Dim sum?
Dim and
Okay.
That's actually really good. That's
Proportional
really
to
good.
size, a nod to the culture.
I tip my hat to you, sir. That's really good.
So we were
Really
just talking
good.
about like 23andMe before we started recording, and just looking at some of the traits that are like Stephanie and at least have done it. So we were looking at some of the traits that are aligned with our genetic heritage. And what if there is one of the things in there that's like how big your boobs are? So I feel like that should be aligned with your genetic heritage, right?
I feel like it should be. I think Jews are known to be a little bit more well endowed.
Yeah.
Like women have bigger boobs.
So
The
we're also
Jewish
looking at
women
this,
have bigger boobs.
I can't win in agreeing or disagreeing in this scenario.
They just usually
I'm
do.
just trying to think. It's not inaccurate to my friend set, who are Jewish.
Yeah, no,
So-
that's just kind of what happens. Like most of us will likely have curlyish hair, which I do. The light hair I thought was interesting because I associate Jews with usually darker hair.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm blonde, a little bit of red tint in there, but
Yeah.
What-
I don't know.
Okay, so we've discussed that 23andMe covers the front side. What about the back side?
It doesn't
What
cover
does
the
that
front
mean?
side.
Oh,
Or
like,
are
do you
you
have a
good?
big ass?
Yes.
think
I mean,
Jew
I do.
butts are real. My family, we got good butts.
I
all
mean,
really good
I don't
butts.
know where I got it. I took it from all my family because no one in my family has a butt except for me.
Nobody
So-
in your family probably also deadlifts.
Would you actually be ever interested in doing a 23andMe?
I don't like my information out there.
But we work in advertising. We know what it actually means to have our information out
I
there. They're not going to
know.
like infiltrate our minds like everybody's so crazy
Because
with
they
conspiracy
already
theories.
have.
They sure have. But like
Why
them
not
having
more?
my genetics on file, like it does not matter to me. All that means is better targeting. Which
Yeah.
that's all it is. I know
So
everybody
they're
goes
gonna be like,
crazy on
listen,
this
Stephanie, we've got
shit.
some great bras for your Jewish chest.
Seriously, like here's a lot of third love advertising, and I'm like,
True.
this
True.
works.
Yeah.
This makes sense to me.
True.
So my genetic makeup is what get mostly Bavarian and like a third Czech.
That's super cool. I'm so jealous.
It's so unexciting.
Mine gave me nothing. Mine was just like, you're a Jew. Like I wanted the country breakdown, so it's super cool to know that you're Czech because I know I'm
Bavarian
somewhat
Czech.
Czech, but
So Bavaria is
mm.
not far. It's in Germany, like East Germany, and then like Prague, which where my family's from, also like
Prague
they're
is
real
so
close to each
cool.
other.
So fucking cool.
They're so close to each other though, so it's not like it's someone that might be like, hey, took a trip over to Prague, found their husband there and married. That's cool. Boo. I want something more exciting, like, hey, you have family from, I don't know, India, somewhere that's
Do you
more
mean
exciting
my
to me.
0.3% North African
I'm so
ancestry?
jealous. Stephanie showed me her 0.3% African, and I was like,
99% Ashkenazi Jew, 3% or 0.3% Scandinavian, and then there's this like 4 or 5 whatever it is percent. No, 0.4% of this untraced thing, and you click on it, and it's just like Northern African.
I was so jealous.
And then the rest is like we just don't know.
yeah.
So basically, are you going to just say you're African moving forward?
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
How much are you indexing on that 0.4% North African?
I'm not.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a great time for us to jump into our question.
Right.
Yeah? You
Yes,
guys have
let's
some
do
questions?
it.
So, like I mentioned before, we are going to start incorporating more of our listener questions when we can. So today's listener question is going to be Stephanie. However, you're not the first questioner.
Oh.
But
to
so
destroy my
keep sending your
dreams.
questions in to us because we are going to start
We
incorporating
will
them more.
absolutely read them, answer them, and it's awesome. So please keep doing it.
Yeah.
And maybe mildly regret some of our answers preemptively.
No, if we regret it, that means you did it right.
Fair. Okay, so let's do question 1.
Question 1.
Question the first.
All right. Question 1 is mine. So this is something that I've thought about quite a bit. When I was first into like corporate America, I wanted to write a blog about simply this because I think it's such an interesting question. But what are some pointers to successfully navigate and use the restroom at work?
Navigate meaning while you're in there or to go on the journey to Mordor to get to the bathroom?
So no, like when you're going to the bathroom. So do you have any kind of rules or thoughts or things that help you go better?
Are you specifically talking about when you need to take a shit at work?
No, both. So
I don't do that.
1 and 2.
Oh, I do.
I can't.
So
Really?
I cannot.
Weird.
My body is not comfortable enough to do
Oh
that
my
at
God.
work.
I think I'm at work more than I am at home, so it's almost more comfortable sometimes. So I mean, it depends on so many things.
Yeah.
I get to work so fucking early
Sure.
that nobody else is there, and it's just never been an issue.
Yeah,
So that I mean, I guess that's how I navigate it.
fair.
Otherwise, like I don't know. It's just how it is.
I-
Otherwise, like you hope to God you have one of those toilets where you hold the flusher and it just keeps going. That's one other way.
But do you
I don't
have like
know.
any certain stall you use? You tend to go to? Is there a certain bathroom you look to go into?
I know at our current work we have the normal stall and then we have like the gender neutral stalls.
Yeah.
Where they're just single bathrooms. I have yet to use any of those. I always go for the regular stall, and I'm very tall, so I tend to go for like the handicap just because the other ones like hit my knees.
Oh wow, you have long legs.
You don't even understand.
What you
It's
didn't
very
know
ridiculous.
is that your like thighs are actually like 4 feet long, but your shin is like 1 inch.
It's disproportional and somehow very long.
I have very short legs for my body height. Now that you guys know that, you may look at it, but don't judge me for that. But I have very short legs for my body height.
Do your feet not touch the ground?
most chairs they don't.
Have you measured your legs? Because I've done this once,
Yeah.
and it was like one of the highlights of my life. So I'm 5'11", and I have my legs measured, and I have the same leg length as I think I brought her up in the last episode, Stacy Keebler.
Oh,
Which is she was like a wrestler at one point, but she's known for the long legs or whatever.
Girl.
But yeah, I'm basically like 4.5 feet of just legs.
Your legs go up to my shoulders.
Pretty much, it's just
your
all
shoulders,
legs.
your body.
Seriously, it's legs, boobs, and then some eyes.
When we walk
Like
around,
The
that.
eyes are on the boobs.
my face was into your ass all the
That's it.
time.
That's it. That's all it
He's
is.
like, Stephanie, stop sitting on me.
Never. Yeah. So I tend to go to the bigger stalls because my legs hit
Yeah.
things. And I can't turn or do things.
I
It's
really just
hard.
love the larger stalls too. Like I tend to use the large stall in the bathroom because it's just more comfortable. Like I can spin around in there, take off all my clothes if I want to.
You're just doing a
But that's
routine, a
not
dance
the-
routine in there. It's
That's
just-
not the main reason I use it though. I think we've talked about this before on the pod, but remember that one time that lady came in and changed the toilet paper?
Oh,
Please tell that
yes.
story.
I think I've told it on here, haven't I?
Oh, maybe? Yes.
So that
probably.
time, so to remind you, guys that and list guys and gals and other who are listening, remember when that lady came into the bathroom, wanted to change the toilet paper in all of our stalls, and I was using it currently, but she instead opened up the side of the wall and reached into my stall and changed the toilet paper while I was using it. And I looked down, her face was like inches from my face, which was really awkward. I quickly covered up, and it was a horrifying moment for me. However, the bathroom in our bathroom at work, the biggest stall, I think it's like the handicap stall,
Yeah.
you can't do that to that stall. So it's my safe space now.
But what you don't know is that there's a secret door, and it's just like the
She
Lion, the
crawls
Witch, and the
through.
wardrobe, and she just opens the full-on wall.
Narnia!
Yes, thank you.
Oh my god!
There's Narnia in the bathroom stall.
Such a great.
I think it'd be great. It's like a duct, and she like crawls through to get in there while I'm using the
she
toilet.
just like armies her way underneath that door.
I like it.
Oh god.
So,
Do you have any rules, Ashley, about when you do use the restroom?
so I have heard that stall 1 and 2 are the most populated and used stalls.
I thought it was the middle stall.
I heard that the first
Is it-
stall is usually the least used. In
The
the
first one
bathroom.
and the second one is the most used.
But I've heard the first one is the least used. People
Definitely the
pass it.
second one is the most used.
Yeah, I've
for
heard
sure.
second is
I've
most.
heard the first one is the second. To
I heard
the
the first one is never used because people pass right by it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I use the third one. I try to play my probability of like the least amount of people using the stalls because I feel like the cleanliness and sanitation is higher.
I feel like the first one always has the most amount of space between the door and the wall that you could see through it.
So if you're an exhibitionist, it's a great place for you
It's
to go.
a great place to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Or
feel
a
like that's got
voyeur
the most amount
For
of
people walking in.
Yeah, that's not me.
good for everybody.
Yeah.
But in our bathroom right now, the first stall's been broken for months, so no one's been using it
Because
at all.
someone voyeured too hard.
I'm also wondering if that's legit and if that's just on there and the one person who always wants to use it is just like, my plan is working.
That's a great idea. I
Ooh,
should do
that's
that for
super
mine.
smart.
I like that idea.
I love that that's where they put their flag on. Like, that is what they're putting their name to. Fooling us all and, like, taking the first stall only. They're like, my children will learn to love this stall. For generations, we shall live in this stall.
I mean, it's been like 4 months and they haven't fixed it. I don't think it was ever broken.
True.
So, actually, question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever got number 2 in our current building?
No.
What?
I can't. I just can't.
How does your stomach handle that all day?
It just says, I can't do it in here.
Oh my
Well, I mean,
God.
okay, here's the other question.
Even after we go get coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee makes you go.
Doesn't
Girl,
make
I
me
just had a
go.
huge cup of coffee and I'm fine.
Oh, goodness.
I do eat a lot of fiber though, so I also don't understand that. But that's a different question. Like, how frequently do you pass your food through the day? My system's very slow.
Mine's very fast. I could eat like a
Wow.
chip, and I'm like, oh, gotta go. Get rid of that chip.
I mean, how many
fast.
times do you?
This is real embarrassing to talk about.
Is it? We've talked about so many
Let me
weird
just say,
things.
so there was a time when I was vegetarian. I was vegan for a while, vegetarian after that. And during that time, because I ate tons of fiber, every little thing I ate would cause me to go.
Oh my gosh! So
That's
your job
intense.
was to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and I loved it though. So when you eat vegan, this is probably way TMI. When you eat vegan though, you poo so easily. You don't have to like push it all. You just like sit down and plop, done. It's very clean. Just want to tell you guys, that's one of the best benefits of being vegan is that you just have no trouble pooping ever.
Dang.
That's all.
In case we haven't
Grossed you
discussed
out yet?
this. No. So we've always talked about, at least Ashley and I have always talked about that if we had to like go on trips and whatnot, the most important thing is we all need our own bathrooms.
Yes.
First and foremost,
Yes.
everybody needs their own bathroom.
Well,
I get it. I get it more.
We talked about one of our trips is going to be to visit my hometown.
Yeah, we sure are. I want my
Yeah.
own bathroom.
Okay.
That's
Deal.
actually the truth. Yeah, if my body feels uncomfortable where I am, it literally will not go.
It locks up.
Yeah, it locks up. Like when I was a kid, I went backpacking, and I remember it was my first time in nature, little like teenager, and they're like, yeah, just like dig a hole and just pop a squat.
Ugh.
I tried and I couldn't. I held that shit in literally for 3 days until we
I've done
went
that.
rock climbing, and there was a disgusting porta potty in the desert, like near this rock climbing area, and I swear to God, I felt like I was gonna pass out.
I've done that too. I have done that too. Like 3 to 4 days before, because I like when I was in RA, we had to go on like retreats.
Yeah.
And this retreat was going to a cabin with one bathroom, 11 people.
Oh.
And so I was just like, it would be known. I can't let it be known. So I just didn't. And
Did you feel sick?
horrible? Yeah, it was horrible.
So I
so
used
much
to-
pain.
I used to be a mentor for junior high kids. We go on this like volunteer trip every year down to Texas, and this one kid was poop embarrassed. He couldn't poop in front of his friends. Similarly, but like it was like almost like a chronic thing for him, to the point where he would just shit himself while he slept.
Oh.
Is that? And imagine being like an 8th grader when you're trying to be really cool.
Gosh.
And he was like one of the cool kids, you know, but he
shit his pants all the time when
he
he was
did
sleeping.
because he couldn't poop in front of other people.
That's why it's very important to have an open poop conversation.
Yes.
Do you have that?
I do with my roommate. I have with all of my roommates. I don't talk about it. I don't yell like I gotta poop, but like they do.
You have 2 bathrooms though, no?
We do have 2 bathrooms, which
Okay.
is awesome.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that we've had 2 bathrooms since I lived in an apartment with like 4 people.
Yeah.
So you just say it. You have your matches. You have your candles. You do.
And your rain stick, just to let them know.
Just the rings. I just said didgeridoo. Like, that would
Your
be-
xylophone just.
I would like a pooping didgeridoo. If somebody could send that to me,
I can
I
never
want
do the
everybody
didgeridoo,
to
know.
know. I'm gonna be at my desk and I just turn it
Oh,
and
no, the
just like.
didgeridoo-
Stephanie's
thing-
shitting again.
The didgeridoo. That's the thing you blow into, though, is a didgeridoo. And you have the continuous sound, right?
Oh, you're right. Okay, so
So
I clarify.
shitting while playing the
No,
didgeridoo.
I'm gonna clarify. I would like the rain
rain
stick that
stick.
I would turn over, followed by me blowing into the didgeridoo, and then it's just an announcement to the whole floor at work
Stephanie's taking
that I'm
a
going
shit.
to the bathroom.
That's
You know what I
ridiculous.
want?
It'd just be hilarious.
I want your instrument to be a rain stick, your instrument to be a timpani, just like.
I would love that.
And mine's just a gong.
I mean, would you not take the full stigma out of it by doing that kind of madness of symphonies before going to the bathroom?
But you know, someone will get like the shitty instrument that's just like the washboard with the spoon.
Somebody just has a kazoo, like.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
There's this really hot guy in my high school, and he played drums with me in drumline that I was in, and I was like, this guy's just fine. But then I learned that he was part of this like family band, in the Smith family band, and they had
shut the fuck up! He had a
like
family band.
he had a family band that was like, and they had instruments like the
Partridge
washboard.
Family. Fuck yeah!
No, but it was not as sophisticated as Partridge Family. It was like they had like the farmland kind of instrumental, like the spoons person, and they had like the washboard person.
I used to be able to do the spoons pretty well.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's
stick
really
against
cool.
the leg.
Stephanie, sorry, we couldn't afford you a rain stick, so here are 2 spoons
Here
from
are
our
2
cafeteria.
And
I
they're
will
the
take that.
compostable spoons. They're not
Oh,
even.
shit.
They don't echo loud enough.
They're like clack, clack, clack.
If
I can
you
still
were-
hear you plopping.
I wouldn't take him to the bathroom. It's to announce that I'm going to the bathroom.
What would your shit instrument be?
Let's see. I don't even know. I would just
A
like
harp? A full harp?
beatboxing. I would beatbox because then I could control the plop sounds with it.
But-
You're not taking it into the bathroom. It's to announce you're going to the bathroom.
Wait. I think these are two different conversations.
Are we having an instrument for the actual event?
It can be. You can choose. There is a pre-warning, and then there is the final event.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I mean, so they have those Japanese toilets that play music and do fun things when you're going as
Or,
well.
like make nature sounds.
Yeah, I would just do that. Otherwise, I'm definitely going for the didgeridoo and or rain stick. Because that's cool.
I've always you need to hire someone to play the didgeridoo.
I've always been so impressed by
So
didgeridoo
cool.
players though, because they have like the continuous breath. You know
What makes you think I don't have that?
what?
So it makes you think I don't have that.
You have
Stephanie's
continuous breath. Wow.
I can control a lot in there.
All right.
Hey.
I'm pretty
impressed.
So do you guys have any more like hints or tips? Because I'm learning for
Yes.
myself, basically.
I always like it when there's music in the bathroom. It makes me relax when if there's no sound. I'm like, I don't even feel like I can pee sometimes.
What about the standoff situations?
What do you mean?
When there's two people in there, clearly both of you need to go, and somebody's nervous and just waiting for the other one to
that's when you have to go
get out.
number two.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
there's always a standoff.
Okay. Here, another question. Who touches the bathroom handle when you leave?
I use my
I do.
foot.
You do?
I wash my hands immediately.
But
It's
most
after
people
everything's
don't.
back up.
I touch that shit with a paper towel.
No, I
Oh, the handle to the
you mean
door.
out the
Yeah.
out the whole bathroom, not
Yeah,
the flush.
Yeah, not well, even the flush I'll use.
I use my foot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no. Okay, so
I
with
use
the
my foot too.
flush, I use hands, and then I wash crazy. I wash my hands constantly, and then I'll usually use the paper towel to open the door. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I use my shoulder because we have just a push door now.
wait, question. So how many people have you seen when you see someone walking out of the bathroom and they don't wash their hands? Like
I confront them. I'm just kidding.
Do you?
No, that
I
would be
give
great
them
if
a
I did.
disgusted look.
I heard a story when I was working at this company in Seattle. One of the guys had worked with my boss at that time, and he told me that they went to a bar, and the story was before we started working together. They went to a bar, and my boss went to the bathroom, came back, and then a random stranger trailed back to their table and was like, "This guy doesn't wash his hands. Thought you all should know since you're sharing food."
Yeah.
I mean, that's a baller move. Yeah, I would
love
agree
that.
with that.
You know-
I give people shit if I'm with them in the bathroom and they don't wash their hands. I will give them shit. But if they leave and I just know that they didn't because I'm still in the stall. Or
I would be
whatever,
grateful though for people telling me like if I'm
Yeah.
sharing food with somebody, I'd be grateful. Be like, dude, you should probably go back and wash your
I
hands.
don't feel like getting dysentery today.
Today.
Wash your fucking hands.
There is another guy when I worked at. Should I name the company?
No,
no,
don't do
actually I
it.
won't. When I worked at this company before, he was this very senior creative guy who worked there, and he would never wash his hands after peeing.
Sick.
And he'd come out of the bathroom, and a ton of male employees would see this, and they're like, "Oh, he's disgusting." And I remember he came over to me and wanted to shake my hand because the buy that we did won an award. And he was like, "I just want to thank you for your work." And he sticks out his hand, and it was like a slow motion, like, "Is this your power move? That you don't wash your hands, so everyone has to hold your penis held hand?"
Ew.
It's disgusting.
Also,
What about
I
my
really
penis
have
held
to
hand?
pee.
Shake my hand.
I
now.
was literally like, "Thank you."
I held
Oh my
5
God.
penises this morning.
Well, and yeah, so and then I remember one of my friends, actually multiple people were like, "Here's some Lysol wipes for your hand.
I can't
And
just
then I
walk
went
Here's
to the
some
bathroom.
acid. Just pour them
Yeah.
straight on your
Yeah.
hands.
Your hands will become white, and you will become a different race, but it's
Also
worth
get
it.
it.
But it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Oh my
these are
God.
good answers. I appreciate you guys for answering this. I think we can definitely take some of these into our next conversation. And
We'll go on to question 2.
Question the
2.
second. This is from a very dear listener of ours named
make that so
Zen.
creepy.
I
when
wasn't
you said
sure
that.
where you're going with that. You're like, from a dude to a lover.
I
From a
love it.
lover.
One of my
Hopefully
lovers.
soon lover, Zen. No, Zen's super fucking cool. She sent us a bunch of questions.
Zen's never gonna send us any more questions after this.
No, I hope you do. Like when you submit us questions, we will read them, we will answer them,
Yeah.
and it's really fucking cool. So thank you for doing
We
that.
talked about this in last episode, and Zen sent us like 5 questions. I
Yeah.
think. So, we're
So
gonna
this
use
is
them today.
one of the questions. The question that I chose because I super love it, which was if you died tomorrow, would your family find anything through your stuff that would change their opinion of you? I think it's a really funny question.
It's a good question.
It's a really good question.
I like to imagine that I have a good answer to this one, but I don't have
You
anything.
don't? Oh,
I don't have
I
anything
do.
embarrassing. Oh, I guess one thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they would change your opinion fully about me, but like, this is a sad answer. Like, when my mom passed away, I had a hard time dealing with things, so I like wrote journals that were like really dark and deep, and I was like, this, if anybody ever finds this, I think there are a few pages that I even ripped out because like, I don't want anybody to see what I wrote because it was so sad and bad. But that's the only thing that I think I own that I'd be embarrassed about. Maybe like period underwear.
Seriously,
but they
that's
know
it?
that you have a
That's it?
period.
That's all you've got is period
well,
underwear?
I mean, I think the other thing you might want to be embarrassed about is the
Christ.
museum of vibrators in your
I
Harry
was gonna
Potter
say,
closet.
yeah.
Or is it the leather chamber where where she straps herself in? Is that the other area you'd be embarrassed
So-
about?
I think I told you this, Ashley, before, but like, I've never had a vibrator. I've never had, like, I don't have a dildo. Like, I don't have that.
We need to
Those
get her
place
one.
things.
Oh my
Playthings.
God.
I'm gonna get you the biggest one.
Why didn't we? I mean, your birthday was just a month and a half ago. Why didn't we do that?
Actually,
My
so
God.
Steph, we were talking about this last time, just off the air.
Off air.
We should go to a sex shop together with Patricia
I've
and everyone.
Go pretty often. Let's do this.
You do?
I've gone a couple times, of course.
I've gone for bachelorette stuff.
I mean, I did go one time to pick up something for somebody for a bachelorette party, but there was like, back when I went to a Christian school.
3 shots because
3
it's
shots.
the morning.
Yes.
But we went to like go pick up like a slutty looking outfit one time. And that's it for my friend.
At the sex shop? No. There's a
Oh,
sex.
that's sad.
There's like toys, and then there's costumes,
And
I
then
feel
there's
like
sex that you can buy, right?
then there's just straight up prostitutes. Very
Prostitutes
different.
and gigolos in the back.
I think that'd be a really funny experience for us to
God.
go together.
All right. So you only have a couple of like live journals in real journal form that you're embarrassed about.
I think honestly, yeah, because I use the
Ay.
incognito browser.
Incognito browser. Well, nobody's looking at your computer history.
I know, but
You got an answer, Ashley?
I've got nothing to hide though. I'm very open.
I have so much to hide.
So, oh gosh,
Do you want me to go first?
Don't save me for last. I feel like
I'm
you're gonna have the most to
conflicted
share.
because I don't know if I want you to strike this later.
Don't strike it. We're not striking it. This is a listener question.
Okay, so I don't have too much stuff, but okay, so background, my parents are very conservative, so
Like my childhood.
like your Christian school. Another 3
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
Big shot.
And so I think I don't know if they'd be surprised, but I have a lot of liquor in my home, and I think they'd be like, "I know, don't judge me. It's my it's." The
I just did a very long blink. That's what
It was
this
a
is
slow
Stephanie.
motion.
Long blinking at the just oh no liquor.
Yeah, I think they'd be like, "That's a lot of liquor." I don't have a lot of other stuff that they'd be like, "My goodness," except for like maybe some lingerie, and that would be embarrassing because like. You know, Asian families are like very touchy-feely. So the idea of the appearance of such would be more like I would be mortified if my family like I wasn't even allowed to wear I wanted colored underwear, and my mom was like, "Why?" Like when I was younger.
Who wants to see?
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
"I just like polka dot underwear. I just think it's really fun."
It's cute.
That should be the name of your autobiography, Ashley in the polka dot underwear.
Oh gosh. My mom just takes it and lights it on fire.
Disagree. It's just a chapter. Just a chapter.
So yeah, I think that would be liquor and lingerie. Also a chapter in my
Grand
Should be
lingerie.
the name of your book, maybe too.
liquor and
Oh,
lingerie.
I like that.
So is it my turn now?
Oh
Let's
yeah.
go. I'm ready for
Melke,
this.
if you're listening, stop listening.
Sorry, Melke.
Yeah, no, I have an entire drawer of toys.
A whole drawer?
Sure
How
do.
big is this drawer?
It's like a nightstand drawer.
Wait,
Oh,
question.
wow.
Received or bought for yourself?
The majority bought for myself.
How do you know which ones are going to work?
That's why she has so many.
How many of them are actually from specific? I have so many questions.
Yeah.
How many of them are specific? Are you getting nervous about these questions?
I'm getting nervous
I
about our
hope you
trip
stop
to this.
listening.
She's starting
I'm
to
so-
blush.
I'm so nervous. I'm not.
But you are a little pink.
I'm just a
I
little
think
nervous
it's
about
very
our trip.
important to be sex positive.
I
So-
agree. However, I'm just nervous about our trip to the sex store now. because I know what
I don't have like nipple clamps or anything crazy like
But I
that.
know
You can home make
whatever
those.
we end up buying for me when we go to the sex store, you guys are gonna come back the next week and be like, "How was it?" And I don't know if I want to talk about that.
You wouldn't need to talk about it because you don't do anything there. You just purchase.
We're not using them in front of each other.
Jesus
What are you
Christ.
expecting?
No,
This is
what
not a
the
closed
fuck?
karaoke
No,
room
God.
with sex
What?
toys.
The actual fuck.
That's not where it's going with that.
I have not signed up for this.
That's not me.
Get me out of this. Patricia wants us to use sex toys in front of each other.
No. That is
Taken
a
too
no
far.
bueno.
Too far.
That is a
Too
no
far.
bueno.
This is not true, everybody. This is
Oh
not
my
true.
god. Oh my
You
god.
heard it. You heard it.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to the question at hand. Yes, I have toys,
Yeah,
of course, as
that's
any
fine.
single mid-30s person would likely have.
Yeah, except
I
for those
also
weirdos.
have a lot of, please Mel, stop listening. A lot of crotchless panties, a lot of lingerie. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you wearing those? Never mind.
Am I currently wearing them? No.
You have a date tonight. I'm just
Yeah, no.
wondering.
When
I
do
don't
the
wear them on
crotchless
dates.
panties come out?
Yeah.
Sorry, is this too much? We don't have to
I
talk
mean, if
about
Mel
this.
has stopped listening, then it's okay to talk about. No, they
Poor Mel.
they have come out with the consistent fuck buddies I've had in the past. If I know what I'm going in for, then yeah, that's when they will make their appearance. Otherwise, they just sit around.
I don't understand the need. This is a whole other topic, but I don't understand why crotchless panties exist.
I can go into a little bit of like the sexiness and the super grossness behind it. One, it's just like, I don't know, it's sexy to have panties that don't have their crotch, and so you don't even have to take them off if you don't want to.
Yeah, but then why wear them in the first place?
Because sometimes things will happen, like, I don't know how many of you get waxed, shaved, whatever.
Yeah.
You ever dealt with razor burn?
I mean, every time I shave.
Sugaring might be a method I need to try, but sometimes I get razor burn, and it's not. I have very, very, very sensitive skin, and so if I get any sort of razor burn, then I just don't like, obviously,
Fair.
the look of
Okay.
it, and then that's where the crotchless panties come in.
So I don't want us to get into this topic now, but this spurs another question of how do you maintain your lower regions? But let's couch that because I feel like that's a really big discussion.
Sure.
Ashley's writing on her questions for next
I
episode.
feel like I have like 16 zillion questions, and it's mostly about Stephanie's personal life.
I know, seriously. Am I the like the one to ask these questions for? Like, go for it.
I'm
I don't
definitely
mind.
writing that down.
I don't mind. Write them down for the future.
But you should definitely try out sugaring. Because
I do want to try sugaring,
So what
but
is sugaring exactly? Can you explain it to us?
Yeah, so sugaring is actually a very old method that is just like in the Western culture is just picking up. No, I don't know if it's just picking up, but it has started to get picked up. So basically sugaring is a mixture of water, sugar, and I believe lemon juice. And it becomes sort of this like taffy consistency. So it's an alternative to waxing, to shaving. And it's because with shaving, actually shaving makes the hair like thicker. And it doesn't sort of take away if you have dark hair, like the darkness of the dark hair. Then you have waxing, and waxing is really, I've tried waxing twice, just my like armpits for waxing, and it has burned my skin such that it can cause sort of like dandruff in that area.
and the most amount of
Yeah.
like razor burns and ingrowns.
Yeah, and also it didn't happen to me, but the woman who is waxing my armpits was like, "Yeah, your skin seems good, even though it felt a little angry." And she's like, "Because waxing just sticks onto the skin and the hair, so your skin can basically rip off
I've
from
had
the
that happen
waxing."
when I got my eyebrows waxed once. And,
That's
they ripped
horrible.
off like part of my eyebrow.
No, seriously, it's really, really
Yeah.
abrasive to the skin. So sugaring is an alternative where they take this like taffy mixture, and they say supposedly in the science of sugaring that it doesn't stick onto the skin; it only sticks onto the hair. And I have not had any sort of like
Any
burn
issues?
whatever, and it's been able to pull out a lot of the hairs that waxing could not get.
Huh.
So I just recently got my legs, my pits, and then I had a little bit of maintenance down there. And it wasn't as terrible as I thought it'd be.
I mean, we can go into an entire like
Episode about
maintenance,
that.
but yeah, I've decided to go for the au natural with a little bit of maintenance.
I believe in the au naturel.
Au natural.
Like, why do people want to date 14-year-olds?
Thank you.
I'm saying it.
Thank
Men, listen to that. And
Thank
also,
you.
if a lady's gonna do that and like look like a 14-year-old,
You
then why
better
don't you have to
do
do it to it?
Yes.
Right?
Thank you.
Like, I believe it is uncomfortable. It is not. It doesn't make people feel great. So you know what? fucking wax your balls.
Agreed. If you want me bare, you better be bare.
Yes, exactly.
And deal with the consequences.
Why is it so one directional? It is so. Patricia is turning
we-
so red.
I know,
not
but
red.
you're just so mad at this conversation.
I'm not red. I'm totally fine with this. Just interesting.
I mean, what do you think about it?
About what part?
Like all of it.
I mean, the plus side is if somebody wants to be with you, they're going to, regardless
Yes.
of what it looks like down there. But yeah, those assholes who think that you need to be bare, no, fuck you. Like, if you're not, then no. You can deal with the ingrowns of the fucking razor burn. I don't know. It sucks.
I want to know
Deal
how
with it.
many men actually maintain that area down there. Like, there has to be science out there to be like X number of women do X amount of maintenance, and X number of men, 0%, do maintenance of that area.
Seriously, all I have to do is maybe your face and sometimes your balls. We have to do our legs, our
It
armpits,
takes
and
forever.
everything else. Like,
Yeah, and not including the face, right? Like,
Mhm.
maintenance. Like, if you want to like landscape your eyebrows a little bit, whatever. I mean, there's some men who overdo that part. I think
oh, it
they
doesn't
need to
look
be
good when
told that.
happens.
They need to be told that.
Doesn't, yeah.
Let's just
don't.
say that part of my body doesn't need much maintenance anymore.
I mean, that's fair. I mean,
I
I'm
actually
a
agree with
blonde.
that.
I don't need too much as well.
Yeah.
So I am in agreement with you there. But
Yeah.
the whole bareness equates to ingrowns
Not so.
and equates to
I'm not going to say
crotchless
anything more about
panties.
Gotcha. So back to your crotchless panties.
Well, that's why. That's literally the only reasons if there's
Fair.
ingrowns.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, no.
Can I ask you a weird question?
Sure can.
It's I don't own a pair of these panties,
Mhm.
and do they just have like a slit down the middle? Is it completely open? Or are you just wearing a string at that point? Then also my follow-up question is, why even wear underwear at that point?
That's what I just asked. Yeah.
There is a opening. Not they have to connect. Otherwise,
I know,
it's-
but is it just like basically just like sexy string at that point, or is it just
Well,
like
no,
underwear
mine-
with like a
they're-
sewn
They're
middle?
not thongs.
What a sexy string you.
They're not thong underwears. They're normal underwears with just like a rectangle cut out in the middle.
Oh, the whole rectangle's cut out. It's not just
Yeah.
like a slit with the sewn
No.
seam.
No, it's a
So
rectangle.
basically, the whole
cut
point
out.
why you wear underwear is gone.
Yeah, but you the only reason I do is if there's an ingrown.
Honestly, at that point, I'd rather not wear any underwear.
Normally correct, but I have very, 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 very sensitive skin, and
Oh.
so if I do anything and I get an ingrown, I don't like the look of the ingrown, and then I'll wear the crotchless
Gotcha.
panties.
Okay,
That's
okay,
literally
okay.
the only reason I have them.
Fair.
Have you ever gone commando? I'm looking at
Just in
Patricia.
general. I mean, just in general, for any like particular reason. 'Cause
Just in
the answer is
general.
yes and yes, but I'm just curious.
Just in general.
No,
Never?
I just don't like the feeling of crotched up jeans.
When I was in college, I went to a hippie college, and a bunch of the girls in my section were hippies, and they were like, "Go commando!" I was like, "What are you
You have to do
talking
so much
about?"
more laundry that way.
That's true.
Yeah, the majority of stuff I watch tends to be panties.
True. Anyways, so that's a yes for me, but never on the crotchless panties.
I mean,
Wow, this question went all over
Wait.
the place.
I
mean, I'm
so
not
should we
against
go
the
back to the
crotchless-
question.
I'm not
What was
against
your
the
question,
crotchless
Steph?
panties.
So, is there anything else in your life that is embarrassing if your family
They
were
would
to find
find. Okay, I talked about the sex
Wait.
toys. I talked about the crotchless panties and the lingerie. What else is there?
Would your parents be surprised by like all the lingerie and sex toys?
I would like to think they wouldn't be. We haven't had a very like
Your family seems very open.
we're open, but we don't talk about it.
Mm.
But we're open, like we're okay with it, but we don't actively talk about that.
Yeah.
So I think at some point they'd be like, "Oh no, I found the drawer," but they wouldn't be upset or fully change their opinion of me. I don't think.
Mm,
Okay.
But it kind of reminds me, like when I went to college, my mother called me at one point and was like, "Hey, so I found your pipe." A weed pipe, and I was like, "Oh, feel free to use it." She's like, "Oh, I'm 20 years past that," and like that was the end of the conversation.
If my parents, I don't have a weed pipe, but if I had one, my parents found it, I would have been in like deep shit.
I think if my I haven't done that before, but if my parents found anything somehow directionally point to that, they would be very livid.
So,
Even
I
though
mean-
it's like legal now, they'd be very livid.
The one thing I'm very grateful for, like, sure, everybody has their moments with their parents. I'm very grateful that my parents aren't insane like that, where
Yeah.
we've had very open conversations where they're like, okay, if you're gonna smoke, you're gonna drink, you're gonna do whatever.
Yeah.
Before I was living on my own, it's like, let us know and we can come get you. Like, don't ever do anything and then like pretend you can drive. Like, just don't be an idiot. That was kind of the slogan, is just don't be an idiot. And so I would not be an idiot, to the point where even to this day, if I won't even like drive if I've had Zyrtec. Like I've gone so extreme that so it's kind of like that. So
my parents were so anti-alcohol even. So I remember growing up, my dad would have a beer on the weekends. You know, nothing big. He wasn't a big drinker. When he was around his brothers, he'd have a beer. And I remember as a child, I tasted that beer. I'd had beer. I think it's because my dad's, you know, very Czech and they're very big into their beers. So as a kid, I had beer. But then as I was getting closer and closer to 21, my parents are so anti me drinking alcohol that the point we went to my cousin's for Christmas after I turned 21, and my cousin was serving wine around the table, and she came to me and she's like, "Would you like a glass of wine?" And I looked at my mom dead in the eyes and I go, "Yes."
Oh, girl.
And my mom hesitated for about 10 seconds and she goes, "You know what? I'll take a glass too."
Oh, way to be, Mom.
I know, but I was so afraid of actually having alcohol in front of my parents because they're so anti-alcohol. But I was like, you know what? I'm 21. I am my own person. I'm going to make my own decisions.
True.
But I was so happy that she had a glass as well.
Good.
Yeah. My parents are it's funny because my dad was sort of like, he partied it up. He was like I feel like he was a ladies' man. I asked my dad once, I was like, "Dad, were you a flirt?" And he's just like, "Yes." And just like moved on. But like for us though, he was like very conservative, right? Yeah. So even after I was 21, you know, if we'd go out to eat and someone was offering, or like we were at a restaurant, my older brother likes to poke the bear a little bit and be like, "Yeah, I'll have 2 beers." And I would look, and then maybe I'd order something and my dad would be like, "Really?" And I was like, "Dad, I'm like 27.
I'm 45. Please let me have this beer."
85. I'm allowed to drink liquor. But yeah, no, I mean, he's gotten better about it. I've talked to my mom about it because I'm like, "Mom, like, why is he guilting me about?" And like, he clearly drinks. So like, what the hell?
Same thing, yeah. With my parents.
But I think it's sort of it must be just a very hard transition for parents, for some of them, to be like, my child is an adult, or like even if your child starts dating, that must be uncomfortable. Yeah. I would think, maybe. Yeah, I don't know for my parents, at least. I wasn't allowed to date until
I was 16.
Really?
Yeah.
They actually said that hard rule?
Yeah, but I did it before.
I had a similar hard rule, except my my second real boyfriend was clearly gay. I refused to see it. And so my parents were like, "Yeah, you can see him whenever you want," because they knew.
You can date all the men.
Took him to prom and everything. They're like, "Yeah, have fun."
They knew?
Sons of bitches.
Did they say that to you, that they knew?
My mom had questioned it. I refused to listen, to believe it. And he's one of my closest friends to this day, and he has come out. So, yes, they were correct. It was amazing.
Aww.
I love him so much still, though. He's still so fucking hot. I tell him to his face.
That's why he stays with you, too. He's like, "I want to be told I'm hot all the time."
I mean, he really is. And his boyfriend's super hot, too. Like, I'm so mad.
Man. We've gone all over the place.
All over the place. Zen, thank you so much for your question. We will read more of them. We will, sprinkle them into all the episodes, but I love it. Please continue doing more. Other listeners, please submit more. I will say weird other gross things that I have in my nightstand.
Thank you for submitting a question that made me blush in front of everybody for most of the
I did not blush in the slightest.
Stephanie became taller while you started shriveling.
Oh, I think what you mean is my legs became longer.
Yeah. Not the shin part, just the thigh length.
Just the thigh length.
All right, let's get into my question. I feel like Question three.
Question the third.
We've touched into this topic a little bit, but, I feel like with New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, often people go into body shaming. They're like, "I hate this part of me, so I want to change it." I'm like, fuck that. That's so dumb. Like, why are we being so self-deprecating?
Coming from the only married one.
Trust there are plenty of other things to self-deprecate yourself beyond relationships. Or even within. Anywho, so my question is, what part of your body is the favorite part of your body? Like, what part of your body do you really like?
Can it be any part of your body, or any part of your body, or any facial feature, anything?
Both. All the above.
Okay, I already have an answer ready.
Go for it then.
My lips.
Oh.
I love my lips.
Wait, which ones? The ones
Oh,
like I didn't mean it like that.
Oh,
This is a sexually charged
this
episode.
got
No.
crazy.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant to. You remember when you had that allergic reaction and you had Kardashian
Oh yeah,
lips?
so I have 3 different autoimmune diseases. One of which is urticaria, which is just crazy fucking hives. And when they attack your lips, it's actually a big problem, and I need to go to the ER when it happens. But my lips get super, super swollen, and they block my airways, and it's funny until you need to get EpiPen stuck in your thigh. But
So Stephanie sent me this picture after I had a facial.
It was incredible.
So I had just had a facial, and she sends me this, and I was like, "Is it a lip injection gone bad?"
But I would also like to note that instead of going to the doctor, I take photos and send them to my friends. Of like, I can't breathe, but look at how funny this is. So not talking about when my lips go absolutely insane, just my normal lips, everyday lips. I feel like I have really, really good lips. They're full. They're perfectly shaped. I don't do a lot to accentuate them. They just do it themselves. They get a lot of attention.
I'm only looking at your lips now.
I know. They're really good, aren't they?
Yeah, they are
A
good.
perfect Cupid's bow.
Yeah,
like,
great
Cupid's
lips.
bow.
yeah, which is the like on top, the like perfect kind of
Oh.
bow arch thing, whatever it is.
Oh, interesting.
I have
like
a
my
really
lips.
tiny mouth hole.
That's the name of your autobiography.
I have a tiny mouth hole.
I have a tiny mouth hole.
I do.
Mine's liquor and lingerie, and yours is I have a tiny mouth hole.
This is perfect. I told you it
know.
would come to you. You wouldn't choose it. It would come to you.
Okay, anyway.
But yeah, so I choose my lips.
You have a nice mouth like length though. I
Thank
have a very
you.
tiny.
Yeah, no, I have really good
Mouth
lips,
hole.
but also to be fair, I've gotten some criticism for them too.
Why?
For your lips?
Oh yeah, because people are cruel and mean, especially in high school. When you have big lips, they call them DSLs, dick sucking lips.
Well,
Oh, there you
I don't
go.
get that ever.
Oh, I've gotten that
It's like,
a
when my dick's
lot.
in there even? That's what I think.
No, I've heard it often.
Oh my
Maybe
god.
that's
Often,
why
and
it's not a
it's not a deterrent by any means, but it's a take it down a notch. Like, who the fuck are you?
Good answer.
But so
That's a good answer.
that's my answer. I really like my lips.
Patrish?
My favorite part of my body
Yeah.
is my brain.
Ay, ay,
And this
ay.
is not a cop out. I just think.
Boo. Boo.
I mean, I'm
your
not-
brain is obviously
Shit
spectacular.
answer,
Shit answer. Get off the stage, Grandma. No, like, okay, I get it. You're very smart. You're very funny. You're
It's not
you're
smart,
incredible.
Like, I'm creative. Like, I don't put down any part of my body, but I don't like worship it. I don't really care. I don't care to look at my body. I don't care to look at anybody's body except for John Hamm.
For those who haven't seen Patricia, she's fucking hot.
fucking hot. It's like-
I'm not copping out my answer
So-
either.
So no, I don't think it's a cop out though, because I don't really care. Like, I don't put down myself, but I also don't look at it to care. Like, I don't have.
I
Parts
don't think
that-
it's looking at it to care. I think you can appreciate yourself.
I don't really care. There's nothing I really care about. I don't know. Body never really bothers me. So what I care about more is like the mind, and I love my mind, and I think it's good.
There's a term for that. It's sapiosexual.
Sapiosexual.
Yeah, that means that you can't be attracted to somebody without their, like, basically their brain, their smarts, and
Yeah.
I would say I hope I fall in that category. I think I do.
I mean, Felix is hot though. So.
then you got Felix. So what are we gonna do with that? Like,
My little French Canadian.
he's with the best face.
I hope
Such
he
a good
listens
face.
to this episode just so that he has to go through everything else before we get here.
Before we even get to him having an amazing face.
He's like, what the hell? Why do I know so much about Stephanie's drawer?
And vagina.
how many crotchless panties does she have?
Actually,
The answer is over 10.
oh, interesting.
Well, like,
So
for
multiple
even-
pairs per day.
So even for
There
me,
was
like,
a deal at Amazon.
when it comes to guys though, I don't really care what body shape they have. I don't care if they're
Well,
like
same.
yeah. So I don't
Agreed.
care what they look like. So similarly, I don't really care like for me either. But like for me, it's more about like their personality, their mind,
Agreed.
their creativity, their everything else that I
Humor.
care about more.
Humor
is, the number one.
is-
Humor is number
key.
one. Always
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
Well, I think humor is also a sign of intelligence too.
Oh, for sure, because you have to take a situation and make it
Yeah.
another level.
But there's also like I really like when guys are like fast. They can come back
Yeah.
at me
The
fast.
banter.
The banter is
The
I mean,
sexiest thing in the world
That is-
the banter.
yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
100%.
But for me though, I don't know. I don't know.
You have beautiful hands.
You're also just fucking hot, just in general.
My
You do.
hand?
I hope you
Yes.
know that.
Whenever
I mean,
you-
I know you don't say it, you don't care, but like you are.
Yes.
thanks.
You
Yes.
are like
All you
really
guys
fucking
listening,
hot.
This is the
Listen.
second time Patricia's blushing. She's
I
like, we
know.
talk
No,
about
you
my-
actually are.
I used to really, really, really like my hands, but they're starting to get like wrinkles, and I've
Let me see them.
no, but let me explain this first though. I don't have hardly any wrinkles on my face. Like I have some, but it's
True.
hard to
You
see.
You look
them.
like you
Skin.
could be in your 20s.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, my hands are starting to age before my rest of my body, and it's really bothering me. Yeah, so I
Lotion.
use lotion. I brought my own lotion with me. I've been
Literally
lotioning up
hand
my
lotion,
hands.
just
I'll put them
out
on
and
right now.
ready.
You have very creamy skin. I don't know if it's from that 100-step Japanese regiment that you have.
It's Taiwanese, remember? They did the Taiwanese.
I'm not going to say.
Ridiculous. Anyways, you're fucking hot. You can say whatever
Oh.
the fuck you want to say,
No,
but
but
you
I
are.
think I think, but my hands. I used to have a huge like thing with my hands, but not so much anymore. Like I don't really care anymore. Like whatever, just be you. Be yourself, hands.
Yeah, but being you is
Do your
hot.
thing. Thanks, Dad.
Blushing number 3.
All
Let's
right.
see how many times we can get Patricia
know.
to
Let's
Well,
blush.
you
not.
still have to
It's
answer,
because
Ashley.
the window is facing me. At my place when we record, like I shut down all the window glares, so it's just like lamps in there, so you can't see me blush. But I blush every episode.
Do you?
I blush
Probably.
easily.
I say a lot
Oh.
of crude things.
I blush very easily. Ashley, what about you? What's your favorite body part? Just say your butt, because you have a
Say
great
your
butt.
ass, say your ass.
See, Stephanie agrees.
Or your hair.
I was
You
going to
got
say
great
my hair.
Your
You
hair,
have
the
fantastic
mermaid
hair.
hair. My God.
I was gonna say I
My
feel
God.
lucky. I think I have good genes where I don't really do much to my hair, and it's just easy to deal with.
Well,
so.
I take like hours to do my
Aphrodite
hair.
just get under there. Oh,
yeah, the
so
birth of
good.
Venus over my breasticles.
Oh, sure is.
You do have great hair.
It's incredible.
I like it because you know what it is. I feel like a lot of people have to spend a lot of time and money, and that's just something that. This sounds very conceited, but I don't have to do that, and it's nice. I like saving that time to do other shit. So yeah.
Also, your smile.
Oh
No,
I
honestly,
don't know how to
honestly,
smile.
Let's see
honestly,
your
with
smile.
the funny
Wow.
smiles, the real smiles. It's just very it's just so pronounced. It's just
Oh my
all
God.
teeth,
Ex-
all like the
Let's see it.
smile lines.
No.
Oh my goodness, that one. She's deep into her own chin.
She no longer has the chin.
It's gone. The chin
There's
is gone.
definitely a photo of the two of us where I've lost a chin, and it's just neck to shoulder.
It's perfect.
That's so hot. Who needs a
It's
neck?
perfect.
Who needs a neck?
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely hair.
But we both agree though that you have a great ass, Ashley.
It's true.
This is weird to say this.
I would, but I would really like to recognize that I also have a pretty good ass. Somebody say it. Somebody say it. It's a good ass.
When I was in college,
I work
had
hard
a
for
good
it.
ass.
We could do a squeeze comparison after
it's
this.
not. I
We've
hate-
done this with a
I
friend of ours.
I hate being butt to butt with somebody.
Okay, you don't. I won't have to touch your butt, but I would like you to touch mine.
Wow. So
It's
you know
very
when
important to me.
you know when you're a kid, you like the teacher like get back to back, let's see who's taller, kind of thing.
Oh,
I-
you hated that so much.
I hate when people butt to butt me. I hate having my butt touch someone else's butt.
Okay,
I
I
hate
won't touch your butt.
No, I'm
Should
just
we
saying.
I won't have my butt touch your butt. Just
That's just something that I just can't
want
handle in
somebody to
life.
touch
Is
mine.
when I have my butt against someone else's butt.
Should we just chase Patricia at work and be like, butt bums?
so we all get called in HR.
Yeah, she's like, can you guys please stop?
If you
fi-
could stop
high-fiving
putting your butt
Patricia
to her
with your
butt,
butt.
it'd be greatly appreciated
I
if
just
nobody
slide-
touched butts.
Meanwhile, she's like, ooga. So she's secretly turned on. She's like turned on, but doesn't admit it.
Ooga.
Oh my
Ooga.
God.
Or farting, one of the two.
Oh yeah, that's right. She just like nervously farts a whole trail, like, and we're like, oh,
But
oh.
question from last episode though, that it still bothers me. Do you guys never had the walking farts?
What do you mean by
No.
walking farts?
Like every
do you
step
mean
you
like
take, a
crop
little bit
dusting?
comes out.
That's what
A crop dusting?
crop dusting.
But that isn't that intentionful. Like you
You
go to an
usually
area
force
to
it.
crop. Yeah.
yeah, like or if you're outside and you're like, all right, it needs to happen, but like nobody's behind me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just make
At
it
least-
go.
At least you guys are aware of it. Just
Yeah,
making
I know
sure.
what crop dusting is. My
Alright.
dog does it often.
That is my
To
dog.
my face.
All right. Well,
So yeah, that's my question. I feel like we had a lot of good answers.
Oh my God.
Patricia,
Good answer.
Good answers.
Good answers.
Patricia, to make sure we follow up on our action items, I think you need to squeeze Stephanie's
Both
ass.
of our butts.
I did
And we
not
will-
say mine.
No, both of our butts. And then we'll talk about it in the next episode.
She's cringing
The
in
next
her
episode.
chair. That's Patricia.
No, you're going to squeeze my ass.
You're
going-
never going to hear from me
you're
again.
going-
Squeeze it!
To squeeze
Squeeze
my
it!
ass.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening to this podcast. It's been a great episode 21. Go get yourself a drink on behalf of us. I'm not squeezing any asses today.
You definitely will.
Just
And
squeeze mine.
check out our website, WTFAQpodcast.com. Be sure to email us your questions to be read on air and answered by us. We will see you guys next time for episode 22. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Why